It started. What a way to start a broadcast. Linda, we are live. Welcome to Community TV with Adaire. This is TV for you by TV for me. This is where I talk to people in the community who are doing amazing things to add value to the lives of people around them. And it could be anything from a yoga class to tarot reading, healing, physical fitness, cooking. We had Guy Malcolm doing permaculture, gardening last week. If it's of interest to you, we'll be covering it here. Today we are talking with the amazing Linda Elmsley, and I actually have just picked up the wrong the wrong bio to talk to you about. You sent me your bio and I put it all there, and I've got a little scroll thing that comes through, and I actually didn't put yours on there. But what I will say, while I'm introducing you, Linda, is that you have been a code breaker for well over a year now, and code breakers is people who are in Facebook code breakers who want to use Facebook for their businesses to attract clients, and you've actually are one of my favourite people in the way. Everybody's favourite people. I'm just going to mess this up, aren't I? Linda, tell me a bit about yourself, because I've just screwed that up royally.
That's good. I love this live TV. It brings out the best in all of us.
Oh, yes.
And everybody in Code Breakers knows and loves you, Adaire, so don't worry. Everything's good. So a little bit about me is, I'm this woman who broke out of my shell literally probably about nearly 10 years ago now, and really went hell for leather chasing my soul purpose. And it's taken me on a bit of a bumpy ride, a little bit scary here and there. You'd understand the feeling having done something similar yourself. And I pursued my passion of healing and working with people and making a meaningful difference to people's lives. I sort of felt that that was a quality that was really missing in my previous existence in corporate. And I worked in both public sector and private sector, and they're equally soulless. Excuse me being rude.
I think
equally soulless.
I think the people
Hey
in
there,
them,
Susan.
and Susan is, Susan? Hi,
Susan Whelan. Yes, let me tell you briefly about Susan Whelan. She is one of my sister money honeys, and together with my other money honey sister, Melinda Smiley, we are the prosperity game women. We are the ones to talk to you about the prosperity game. So welcome, Susan. I'm so glad you're here.
We totally need to talk about that. And we've also got Joanne here saying hello. Both to see you and have shared. Thank you, hi, Joanne. What kisses to you too. That's awesome. Soulless. I actually think that when they're in organisations like I've never worked in corporate, and when I left government, I absolutely made a decision that that's not a place where I wanted to be. And coming from not-for-profits and into government, corporate government, which I guess is probably the same, you get a double dose of soulless. But
absolutely.
It's all about systems and processes and outcomes and strategy, and a lot of bingo wank words, but there is not a lot of people stuff in there. And I don't think it's anything to do with the amazing people as individuals. It's just the culture is just crushing.
Yeah.
So
it's the institution. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So
yeah.
So you came out of that, and you made a decision to. Was there any particular identifying moment that you went, right, this is it, or was it a process that actually you came to a realization, or was it a catalyst or something that
yeah, look, it's been a long journey. I actually started the journey into alternative health in particular probably about 25 years ago, and I started studying Chinese medicine in Brisbane. And, then I moved to Darwin, and that was back in the bad old days when there was no such thing as online learning or even RTOs or anything like that. Acupuncture was completely unregistered back then. So that was the start of my journey, and I guess, it took me another 25 years from that point to get back full circle to being able to step away from what I currently was doing into where I wanted to be. The process that really encaptured me, I guess, was that whole security trap of having, you know, a secure job that had plenty of great benefits. I ended up with a family. I've got 4 children, so I ended up with 4 children. And the idea of stepping out of a place that gave me paid maternity leave, paid annual leave, superannuation, regular income, into something that was uncertain was quite daunting. It gave me a lot of guilt trip making that decision. But on the inside, I was dying, and like it was getting to the point where I'd be crying on my way to work. I'd be getting to work later and later and later, and like I was in middle management. That's not a good look, you know. Being a team leader and can't get to work on time is not a good look. And I was just miserable, absolutely miserable. And I would spend my lunch hours at the time that I decided to leave the public sector. I actually worked in a beautiful location called Berrima Farm, which literally was a farm. And so I would spend most of the time that I could get outside in front of a tree just going, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I said to my husband, either I quit or I'm just going to be the most hard-nosed, horrible bitch you've ever met, and I will end up in the mental ward at the hospital, and that's where you'll have to bring the kids to see me. That was it. That was when I decided, no good for me, no good for my family. It was massive. So, yes, I've learned the hard way.
I can absolutely, totally relate to that. And, you know, we have had these conversations where we've much more, we have much more of a common path, or paths that seem very similar than, you know, what you may think. Joanne is saying it's a horrible place, isn't it? It is soul destroying. It is absolutely.
It is.
And Breen is here. She's saying inspiring, because
thanks, Anne-Breen.
And it absolutely is, because we are, like you, I was terrified of leaving that security of the corporate job. But when it got to the point where you felt like it was walking through quicksand to get to just through every day, it actually felt like your energy was just so low. So, and I just, when I heard you talking about it, I'm going, I could feel that, because that's sort of, even just talking about it brings down the high vibe that we're trying to strive to create.
So let's bring it back up again.
Let's bring it back up.
So the good news is we always have a choice. We can always make a change. No matter how trapped you're feeling, how stuck you are, there is always choice. It's just being able to see what those choices are and to make a clear decision to honour yourself. That's the starting point, I think, is to really listen to what's coming up from inside and go, you know what, I need to be true to that. Let's see how I can make that happen. So that was the starting point for me. And, you know, we're taking a bit of a circuitous route to get to the prosperity game. But, you know, where I started is certainly not where I'm ending up. The journey that I've been able to undertake is, I wouldn't swap it. I wouldn't swap it for the security trap.
Me
no
either.
way.
Absolutely.
I was scary.
We will talk about the prosperity game, but I want to share with you a conversation I was having with my daughter this morning. She'd be, she's 38 this year. How do I ever get to have a 38-year-old kid? Seriously, she still calls me
you
mummy.
Seriously don't look old enough for that, Adaire.
I did start young, but then but thank you. And the lighting is good. Bless the lighting. But she was saying that she's actually feeling like in her job, and she's been in the job 10 years, and she's actually works she works for a hardware store, and she loves the job, and she has loved it. And she's done training in horticulture and landscape gardening, and it's just right up her alley. And she said, now just lately she's feeling like it's when she thinks about it, it's hard for her to think about going to work, because there's some stuff, they've had some changes and they've had different things happen, and so I was just going, it's funny to have this conversation now and then this morning having that same conversation with my daughter. What I'm bringing this up for is because she's a Reiki healer. She's learned herself to do Reiki. She does the crystal. She's got, smudge sticks. She does smudging. And she says she feels like she's gotten so far away from that. And she wants to get back to it. Because I think and I don't know whether I was just inspired to share that and say, do you have any words of wisdom for her about, and it's the same like with me too.
I don't know if it's me who's dropped out, Adaire, or yourself, but all I've got is a blank screen. Oh, I love this live TV stuff. It's great. So now, I wonder what's happening. Okay, so it looks like I might still be here, and it's actually Adaire who's dropped out. So I was just thinking about what you were saying, Adaire, about your daughter, and it's interesting that it's around the age 38 that I've noticed that women really start to get that deep sense of that soul level pressure of you're not on the right path. Okay, Joanne, you'd like me to keep talking, so I'm just giving a response for Adaire's question about her daughter, and I've noticed that women around the age 38 are starting to get that soul level pull, that push that comes from deep inside, that they're not quite on the right path. Life starts to get uncomfortable in whatever place they're currently sitting. So, hi, Adaire, I can see you again.
Thank you, Joanne. Joanne's got our back.
Thanks, Joanne. Yes, indeed.
You keep going.
So the words of advice for your daughter is take note of that feeling and just use that resonance in the body to start guiding some of the decisions she makes. Mm-hmm. So, really listen into the heart. Now, you mentioned that she's working in horticulture. So I would imagine, working with plants, if she's working directly with plants as opposed to like in a research centre or something like that, that she could start actually introducing the Reiki back into what she's doing at work and start using the Reiki with her plants, start using the Reiki to clear her work environment. So start bringing it back just into her everyday. So it's supporting her. That's what it's there for. Reiki is there for you personally. So first and foremost, Reiki is about self. So bringing her back to that, will make a huge difference, and it will also crystallize for her what the next step is.
Yeah. And she said, she did say, oh, I'm, because I know she does a lot of smudging and that type of thing as well for the energy. And I said, have you smudged lately? And she said, well, I lit the smudge stick and I left it burning in the corner of the room. And I said, if that's all you can do that.
Absolutely.
It's doing something, and then the next day she might do something else, and the next day she might do something else. But she was
exactly those baby steps to start bringing it back in. And even if it just makes her feel good to be, if she's actually physically working with plants, bring Reiki the plants. If you can't do it for yourself to start with, bring it in for the plants, and then it will start. Because she's going to benefit from that anyway.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for letting me hijack the conversation about the prosperity game. But I was just inspired to ask you. Effie's saying hi. Gorgeous, Effie. Thank you. It's lovely to see you here. And thank you for joining us. So if you popped in a little bit later, we are talking with Linda Elmsley about the prosperity game. We've had a little bit of technological hiccups so far, and then there was my dropped out, and then I couldn't do the intro properly. But what we've got is I'm really keen to hear about the prosperity game, and you've got Susan here, who is also another
Susan.
person who's doing the prosperity game with you. So can you share with us, Linda, what it is, how it came to be? Because it sounds fascinating.
Absolutely. Well, like I was saying, my journey has been very interesting, and it's taken, dips and turns and ups and downs that I would never have anticipated. And one of those was doing my financial fitness certification. And during that process, I met the amazing Susan Whelan, who's joined us today, and Melinda Smiley. And the three of us decided to join forces. So this is one of those other things that I'm really passionate about, is changing the way business does business. So, I want to create a new normal where we do business based on loving collaboration, where we bring each other up, where we dispense with fear-based competition approach to business. And so I'm collaborating with Susan and with Melinda to put together the prosperity game. Now, in essence, we're actually borrowing something that is already in existence. And if you're familiar with the law of attraction, you've probably heard of the prosperity game. It's something that Jerry and Esther Hicks put together. And the view to the prosperity game is to start feeling the vibration of prosperity, because as you understand, the law of attraction is you attract what you're vibrating at. So start feeling that sense of prosperity by receiving a virtual check every day for an increasing amount of money. So we started on day one with a check from the universe of $1,000.
Wow.
And so you get a new check every day, and we give you little instructions about what to do with that check, but in essence, it's yours to start making your dreams come true. So this is about you really thinking about how you want to design your life, what your life would look like if money was no object, and to really notice what you feel. But the important thing, and Susan's just put up there, it's prosperity with a purpose, because we all come from a financial fitness background. So we have a very important objective in mind, and that is to empower people to be looking after their present self and their future self. So it's not just open slather prosperity as other prosperity games are. We ask you to actually quarantine a little bit of your universal check aside in something we call your pay yourself first account.
I'm just thinking,
actually,
sorry to interrupt, Linda, but I'm wondering if Susan is camera ready. Would you think she would like to jump in as well? Susan?
I don't know. Susan, how do you feel about that? Would you like to jump in and
I'll send
in the conversation?
I'll send her a link, and we'll see.
It'd be lovely to have her on board.
So while I'm doing that, you just keep talking about the. I love that idea of paying yourself first. We've just been blessed by an abundance from the universe. Literally fell into our lap, and we're the only myself are like kids in this gigantic shoe shop, this gigantic universe.
Lolly shop shoes.
Yes.
I've seen those shoes. So the important thing with this concept is pay yourself first is something that is bandied about, and people have the understanding that pay yourself first is spending money that I can spend on anything I like. What we talk about is pay yourself first is money that you put aside that you don't touch. And it's actually about you getting into relationship with your future self and putting money aside for the you when you're 70, 75, 80, where you're not able to work anymore, where you don't have the opportunity to generate income, where in fact you may be facing ill health and need to be in aged care. That's what you pay yourself first amount is for. So that's why we call this prosperity with a purpose. It's not just the here and now, it's your future self. So the interesting thing and what I love about this game is it challenges your mindset. And if, as you would understand, having stepped out of corporate and into working for yourself in whatever field it is, the biggest challenge for you to overcome to start with is your mindset.
Yes, totally
thanks,
is.
Susan. Yeah, Susan's just saying she's not available.
Yes, but that's okay. Thank you for joining us here. I was thinking it would be good, but, that's the way it is. So I love the idea of pay yourself first, and it's not to spend on shoes.
You've got all this other money to spend on shoes, Adaire. So I was just going to tell you, no, day one we started with $1,000, and
Yep.
today we're up to day 21, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I think we're at $2 million today.
Oh, so you actually, so is that based on, because I am familiar with the game that Esther Hicks puts in her processes about paying yourself, but you have to actually spend every cent every day.
Yes, we're the same. You have to spend every cent every day, apart from the pay yourself first amount. Oh, Susan's asking for a second show, Adaire. She'd love to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Really, loved talking to Susan. She's great.
For sure, for sure. Sorry, I was a bit distracted there, Linda. So you pay yourself first every day, and you spend it,
and then the rest of it, So you take yourself to a zero balance every day.
Okay.
And so it's easy in the start, and then as the amounts start to get bigger, people start to experience some really extraordinary things. And we've had all sorts of themes come up in the group so far, things such as, self-worth is an obvious one. Self-worth often comes up right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't deserve all this money, and so I'm just going to get rid of it as soon as possible. I'll just give it away. So we have a lot of people donating to their favourite charity.
Yes.
Rather than sitting there thinking, actually, I'm worthy and I deserve this and I'm going to spend this money on me. Yeah.
I need to play this game.
Self-worth is one. Yeah. Trust is a big one. Trust in self, trust in universe, trust in partner. So trust is a big one. Guilt is another one. Shame, blame, all of those big things that make you feel quite icky inside come up during this game. So that's why you've got myself, Melinda and Susan as financial fitness coaches on board to help people shift through the mindset stuff and start getting some really solid practical strategies on managing their real world.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's great. It's a great game.
I love it.
So yeah, fabulous. We're enjoying it. We're having a wonderful time. We've got a really tight group. They're really supportive and encouraging of each other. It's a great vibe in our group. It's wonderful.
So how do we get involved in that? I mean, it's amazing.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
You can message easy peasy. You can message me, and I will pop you in the group. Or if you do a search on Prosperity Game, 30 Days to Manifest. Oh, I've forgotten what it's called. Let me look it up. 30 Days to Manifest Prosperity and Mindset, I think it is.
Okay. I just write this down.
No, I'm writing the wrong thing. I want this. Prosperity. Here we are. So it's Prosperity Game, 30 Days to Manifest Money and Mindset.
Okay, so I'll do that. So I'm saying message Linda in the first instance, and you'll find her details up here. I think I've tagged you.
Up above.
I have tagged you in the body of the post, and I've also included your business page. So I think this is awesome. Now let me just do what was the name of it now? 30 days. So each round goes for 30 days. Is that correct?
Each round, yep. So we're up to day 20 at the moment.
Yep.
You are welcome to join at any time. And, if you just want to sit on the sidelines for the next 10 days to watch how things are going. So Susan's just saying it's the Prosperity Game, 30 Days to Manifest Money and Mindset. Thank you.
So let me do that. It's a lot of Prosperity Game. 30 days to manifest
money and mindset.
Money and mindset. Beautiful.
Yep. Just do a search on that in Facebook and you'll find us, and you can, put an invitation or a request to join the group, and we'll get you in there. Like I said, we're actually day 21 today, so 9 days to go because it's a 30-day round. But you're welcome to come on in. You can join in straight away if you're happy to do that, or if you prefer to just sit on the sidelines and watch what's happening, more than welcome to do that too. And then we've got a few little goodies lined up over the next 6 weeks or so, and then we'll be looking to reopen next game starting early May. So we'll start from day one again in May. But in the interim, we've got some stuff to deal with, some of the mindset issues that have come up. So some good juicy stuff to be a part of.
So this is the third iteration of the third time that the game has been run. Is that what
for us? No, this is we actually just opened in March. Was our first.
Okay. So
day one.
Very new.
Yeah, so it's brand spanking new, and we've just got a really maybe because there's 3 money honeys. That could be it.
I love it, money honeys.
Yeah, we're the money honeys. Yeah.
If he's saying it sounds awesome, it does sound awesome, doesn't it?
Come and join us, Effie. Come and join us. We've got people from all over the place in there. Money speaks many languages. Yeah.
So there is no cost to join, or is there a investment?
No, absolutely free. Absolutely free to join. Come on in. All we ask is that you honour our game rules, and that you come on in with an open heart and an open mind. We're a loving, supportive community, and we want to keep it that way. So knowing that you can come in and share your vulnerability, because some of the money stuff is quite daunting. It can be scary, but it's a safe place to share your vulnerability and actually get the help you need to walk through it. It's hard to do on your own. So
Joanne and Effie, I think you, myself, Joanne, Effie, we're all over there as soon as we finish this broadcast. Effie's wanting to know what do I need to do to join? So Effie, in case you missed it, just you can go you can type in the menu bar on Facebook, the Prosperity Game, 30 Days to Manifest Money and Mindset. But what we will do, because I think I can tag the group, so I'll edit above and I'll tag the group. You just need to come to the broadcast as soon as we're finished, and I'll tag it above. So
fantastic. Yeah. And if that's not an option, I can always come back in the comments and add the link to the group if you like.
Yeah, I think with the comments, and you can do that as well. We'll get them as many ways as we can, give opportunity.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is private message Joanne and Effie and anyone else who has asked with a link to the group. So copy and paste it, private message them, and they can come over and join that way. Which is like, there's many ways to skin this cat. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Many roads to prosperity. Here we go. Joanne saying
fabulous. Yes.
Effie saying excellent.
That's a pleasure, Joanne. Excellent.
Awesome
I look forward to seeing you in the group. That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
And so, the really lovely thing about the Prosperity Game is it gives you that sense of lightness and that sense of safety when you are dealing with some of that deep, dark stuff.
Yeah.
And as a person who's stepping out of a security trap into the unknown, all of these things come up for you. It's massive. And I think you mentioned that, you were hiding under the bed for 12 months, Adaire, because
I did.
All of a sudden, you step out of a role that this has actually been your identity for a number of years. You are seen as this corporate person who is married to this person, who is parent to this person, but you're not actually seen as Adaire.
No.
And so when you step out of that box, it's all of a sudden, now I have to actually be me and shine the light on me and step out under my own name. And it's scary as SH1T. But, it's scary.
You can say shit.
Okay, it's scary as shit, because you know what? I'm a Reiki master, but I do drop the F-bomb.
We've had the F-bomb. That's all right. We're all grown up here. That's cool. It is
it's keeping it real, because it is. And so the Prosperity Game is a really useful tool for that, because if you are in a position where you're thinking, I want to get out of my box, This could be a nice way to explore what some of that mindset stuff that could trip you up.
Yes.
You can do it while you're safe and secure in your job and start dealing with some of that self-worth, visibility, guilt, whatever it is. Start working on it now before you try and do it while you're earning money and going, oh, and then it's like that lovely parabola where you start the upward trend again. But we don't need to dip so far.
I know.
We don't need to dip so far.
Having that support, and I look back and I think it was absolute anger for me, because I was angry at myself because I didn't believe, because I was the primary breadwinner after having experiences in my younger life, that I just believed that I had to do it by myself. I couldn't be vulnerable enough to let my husband, sort of hold the ball for a while. Must have been hard for him because I was a complete bitch. It was like, probably, no.
I think that's a sign of the trap that you're in, though. I mean, because I was not a pleasant person either. I used to take it out on my husband and my kids because I was safe to take it out on them. And that's terrible. What a horrible way to have a relationship.
Linda, I cannot imagine it. I absolutely cannot imagine it. Joanne's saying sometimes there are no other words that suit. Absolutely true. Now, this
so true.
We're going to, I reckon, we're going to do, after Easter, we'll get you back and we'll talk with Susan and the other money honey. Her name escapes me. Yes, Melinda
Smiley.
Melinda Smiley. I love that name. Did she make that up, or is that her real name?
That's her real name. Isn't it great?
Oh, my God, Melinda Smiley. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So what we'll do is, I know that you have, Joanne's saying, imagine how scary it is without a backup.
Absolutely, Joanne.
It did feel like jumping off, like I was teetering on the precipice of this big, deep chasm, and I just didn't know, chasm, whatever you call it. And it was something that I knew that I had to step off, a bit like the labyrinth, Well, no, it was the labyrinth or the Indiana Jones, where he steps off the thing and he goes, you just got to have some faith that there's something there for you when you do step off. But that it was terrifying. But if I'd had something like this back then, I think my life probably would have been less of a train crash. But
it's not fair, is it? Yeah.
But what you are doing is you're using your experiences and your knowledge and your superpowers.
Absolutely.
To help prevent that for other people, and just by providing the support, because it's a long, lonely tunnel that you have to go through. And if there is some support there, even like in the group doing the prosperity game, it is, I think that's, it's just amazing that what we can tap into now. And just truly blessed that we're able to. So I'm going to say also, we've got Effie's saying, yes, that would be great. She wants Melinda and yourself and
Susan
to come back. So we'll get you back in after Easter, actually after Anzac Day, and we'll have some more discussion about it. I think that's because there's lots and lots of energy, lots of interest, and you can you can help so many people. So that is really awesome. But I do want to say before we go, if you want a discovery call with Linda, do you want to just share a little bit about the discovery call, because we'll get some people who might be interested in a one-on-one with you. So
okay. So the discovery call would be essentially just to look at what your biggest challenge is right now. And, if we can work some stuff out for you, that would be a bit of a bonus. I'd love to help you come up with some ideas to get around whatever that current block might be, or to go through it and get rid of it completely. And we can also take a little bit of time in that session to talk about what it would look like for us to work together with me as your intuitive business consultant to help you get that transition happening smoothly, more quickly, and with less heartache. So that's an obligation-free chat. You just need to message me, or if you're in Aussie land, you can give me a call on my mobile. Either way, just connect with me through Facebook is probably the easiest, and we'll sort a time out that we can sit together and have a quick chat and just work out what's the best next step for you.
And so you can work remotely, so we don't have, because we've never met face to face, which is fantastic.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter where you are in Australia or anywhere overseas. In fact, if you're hooking in from from anywhere, please take advantage of it. I've got Linda's name as a hyperlink above. It says Linda, says message Linda, and she will get back. She'll be watching her others folder, so she'll get back to you. Linda will also put her mobile phone number in the comments below, and I'll make sure that we'll edit the post above so that we've got the name to the link to the group and also your mobile phone number there. Don't go anywhere, Linda. I'll just drop you out for a moment, but thank you so much for sharing with that.
Thanks,
that
Adaire.
with us. I really look forward to having you back again with the Money Honeys in tow. So we'll talk again soon. Just hang in there for a minute. I'll be right with you. Okay. And that was another episode of Community TV with Adaire. We had Linda Elmsley today. Apart from a few technical hiccups, we did get there in the end. Thank you so much for joining us on mytimetv.live. Please share this broadcast. That would be awesome. And look for us again every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Australian Central Daylight Time. And I think next week or the week after, it's actually going to be Australian Central Standard Time. So it will all change. We all get a little bit mixed up around daylight saving time, but then we work it out. Thank you so much. It's Adaire Palmer. I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Bye for now.